There's been another very important direction by the Supreme Court today as far as the allegations against the Adani Group are concerned. The Supreme Court has appointed a panel to actually look into the allegations which have made. This comes at a time when several political parties have been asking for a JPC. Do you believe that the panel appointed by the Supreme Court is the way to get to the bottom of this?
I think it is appropriate in the facts of this case, not because of Mr. Adani, but because there are millions of share and bond holders in this country who back particular big businesses. If they have suffered, I think the court's concern is quite justified, and rather than having a JPC and making it a political slugfest, idea is to look at what the problems of the system are and plug the loopholes so that it shouldn't happen in future that either a foreign report comes and shakes the market and reduces the to a great extent the investment of people in their return of lakhs of crores, and also that people in this country do not change valuation of their shares because of their manipulations, etc. I think it's the right thing. It will instill confidence in the market and in the people who are in the market. And I have gone through the names which the Supreme Court has chosen, and I think the names are excellent. They are people from different sections of the society, including lawyers, and I think that probably is appropriate in the facts of this case. It will be rather swift and it will help in this kind of problem rather than having a JPC, which will become again a slugfest. That should be avoided, and I am in agreement with what has been done.
Let's look at the names, sir, for a moment. Justice Sapre, he heads the committee, a former judge of the Supreme Court of India, O.P. Bhatt, former chairperson of the State Bank of India. The State Bank of India is important because questions have been raised on Adani's exposure, etc. Justice Devdhar is another one. He practiced in the Bombay High Court earlier on. He's a constitutional expert. He's practiced constitutional law, cooperative society, service law, etc., customs law. K.V. Kamath needs no introduction. He served as chairperson of Infosys, non-executive chairperson of ICICI. Nandan Nilekani, co-founder of Infosys, somebody associated with the Unique Identification Authority of India. Somsekhar Sundaresan, right, the well-known corporate lawyer. The point I raise these names is because some would argue that these are among the most credible faces in India to be dealing with this set of accusations. So therefore, the selection of names, very important. You believe it's been rightly done?
I think the selection is par excellence. All these names have high credibility. Two of them are retired judges. I have appeared before them on a number of occasions. I have found that they have always been upright. And Mr. Somsekhar, I know for a number of years, he knows the share market and the SEBI laws very well. And as you said, Nilekani is a pioneer and so is Kamath. Then where is the question? And Mr. Bhatt, I personally don't know, but he has been chairman of SBI, high post, high ranking post for all these people. So I think the selection is appropriate and cannot be faulted.
A final question on the remit of the committee, because I think this is important also. People who want more details, the facts to come out as far as these allegations are concerned, would want to know what this panel is actually looking at. So, very briefly, to provide an overall assessment of the situation, including causal factors, to suggest measures to strengthen investor awareness, to investigate whether there's been a regulatory failure, and to suggest measures to strengthen statutory and regulatory frameworks and secure compliance with the existing framework for the protection of investors. It's this focus on investors over and over that the common person must be protected, which seems to be the primary direction which the Supreme Court has taken in asking for this panel?
See, I have not gone into the details of the order, but from whatever little I have seen, it seems to me that the remit of the committee is wide and sweeping, and that is why a high credible panel has been chosen, and it is my sincere wish and desire that they go into all the issues raised by that report and then see whether there is a systemic failure or whether some share prices have been pumped up by a particular body, by a particular company, etc., and then come out with a set of suggestions. So it should not happen in the past, that it should not happen in the future, that if I have invested 100 rupees and suddenly like a flash from the skies, that like lightning falling from the skies, my 100 rupees become 50 rupees. That will be disastrous. So we must have maturity in the markets, and I think the court has taken the right step, and I hope this committee will give an appropriate report at the earliest.